Ah, home sweet home.
It's getting cold, this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Now that we're alone, let's see if we can forge those signatures. Which is it? Handed a note from the fridge. Was it this?
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
Do we have anything that increases interfacing? Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Not looking good. Can't imagine that +1 made a huge difference.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
This is not a red check. This is a red check. It cannot be reached. I was reading combining both of the sentences. Now, not getting the debuff from him being able to see us here.
A 12 to 40
So presumably we could just come
period
back into
and the
this
zoning.
room even if it's not night to try again, or to do it. So perhaps better to wait. So that we could maybe get that at least to 50%. Because, you know, I'm not too sure about that one. What else are we doing tomorrow? Go to the harbor gates, ask the right, of course, of course. This may take it may take a while. Understood. Oh, pick up dice, of course. We have to pick up dice. Scab leader about tattoos. Run the victim's armor. What else do we have to do? Oh, right. We haven't found moral yet. I had completely forgotten about that one. We still have a fair bit to explore on this side. We'll wait to try and do the forgery after we've maybe found some more,
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
gear or leveled up interfacing.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Go to sleep.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Lizard brain.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Recorded in you forever on ferrotape.
Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Damn, reptilian brain's getting into this one.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now.
That is horrible news.
You can never forget this shit.
The colors, the voices. The rain, the snow. I don't want to. It's beautiful.
Beautiful. It's stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
They're not meaningless, they're worth pennies.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
It may already be too late on that one, to be fair. I talk to myself every day, and various aspects of my personality are personified.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Fuck.
Do it for the wind. Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
Gotta say, the virgin logic, the Chad shivers. Do it for the wind, brother. Open your eyes. Oh, thank God. Yeah, it do be like that. Any new thoughts on the mirror?
An old mirror hangs on the wall.
What was this again?
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap,
Of
and next to it,
course.
a sm-
Let's not. At least not for now. Kim!
Yes?
I mean, how can you resist a dialogue option like that? Convince Kim there's a sexy, dark mystery twist in the case.
What if you did it?
Did what? The Hanged Man?
Yes, you killed him. And then, as part of the plan, you drowned out the memory.
You're cooking up an interesting hypothesis there, Inland Empire. I admit I hadn't considered that.
Forgetting was merely a matter of convenience. Very clever.
Thank you, thank you.
Maybe this is why your chest feels so hollow. You did an awful thing. And you can't even bring yourself to acknowledge it.
Kim, I think I may be the murderer. I killed the man, then tricked myself into forgetting about it.
And what has led you to this conclusion?
My chest feels hollow, like I did something terrible.
That is a common side effect of overindulgence. It will pass.
like a like an adult comforting a small child. Don't worry, you're experiencing a normal part of human life, Harry. So you're saying I didn't kill him. But Kim, it turns out I was the one racing around town in my motor carriage.
The victim wasn't run over by a drunk driver. So, while I can't condone your driving habits, the cases remain unrelated. Look, it's not unusual for detectives to feel complicit in a crime until the perpetrator is identified and apprehended, especially when the investigation is dragging. So, let's get back to it.
I
shall we?
can't help but feel like this did nothing to convince Kim there was a sexy dark twist. Oh well. Alright, let's go and talk to the lady back at the precinct. Since seems the walker was either very confused or drunk out of his mind. I wonder who that was. We still have to run the numbers on the armor, which I had completely forgotten about. I think we might have been able to do that like a day or two ago at this point, but, you know, that's alright, we got there in the end. Then we'll explore the rest of the pier. We still have to find the cryptozoologist. Oh god, what's happening?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Says the young man with piss written on his back.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
Is it really livery? I've always said livery. Ma'am. His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan. Fuck the world. Fair enough. I don't like the way he's looking at me. The eye contact is just a bit too intense.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
That's a little weird, my ma'am.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
What the fuck are you two talking about?
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title.
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Alright, I didn't accuse you of being any of those things. So, you know, why are you being defensive about it?
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the
Can
contrary,
you stop, like, casually saying slurs?
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Fascinating.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
I'm so glad you asked.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertnay.
Just moving straight along.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
Damn, that's such a cool name for a crime syndicate. Damn. That sounds so much better than, like, mafia, you know? Damn. We got stuck with the lame ones.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Is that all they do? That sounds uneventful, honestly, as far as, you know, crime syndicates go.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verbal?
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
Fair enough. I guess that is one way of phrasing that.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around the brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
That was one of the most repugnant phrases I've ever heard in my entire life. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive. Ew, what an ugly sentence. Do you know anything about the murder that took place over there?
Murder?
A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling in Rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Tremendous insight.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Okay, fucking Aristotle, relax. It's not that important.
Ah, this sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
I know that you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
Well, there isn't. We moved it. It's gone now.
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
I did talk to it, so maybe let's not talk about that one, actually.
Maybe it's true. The hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark.
Fascinating. A brand new line of inquiry. That would be the case. That could be the case, yes. A brilliant work of art.
No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything. He looks very uncomfortable.
That is not at all what that said. You said something completely different. Do you guys know Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
The young man's eyes glazed over, his voice filled with longing.
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
He adds, returning from whatever void he was just visiting. A true simp.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. Odd. There isn't a hint of hate in them. It's like they're piss and fuck the world out of some kind of moral obligation.
I see.
The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
I see you kids are into anodic dance music.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Okay.
Be wary of the abyss.
His blonde friend adds ominously and points to his temple. Why?
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
A threat? Good. I like those.
But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you boys back to the station just to calm myself down.
Damn. He was very aggressive when he said that, unusually so.
Hey, there's no need for that. We're just talking here. Joking, too. Stay light, man.
Yeah. Didn't you cops, like, have some questions about skulls or some shit?
Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Ah, it's because the bigger organized crime operation doesn't let them. Of course, that makes perfect sense.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Is that so? You're just telling me to my face you're going to commit a lot of crimes?
Yeah, we are.
Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you a part of the Skulls or not?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
And what makes you think that the organization would accept you?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
The other one quickly adds and whispers something to his friend.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
Enough about this scullery, then.
Mm-hmm.
What's with the jackets?
What about them?
Why does your jacket have brr written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss.
Do you? I mean, you can be into whatever you want, I guess. You know. It's a little, it's a little gross, though. Yeah, it's strange that you would just tell me to my face.
The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences.
That is quite the interpretation, I must say. I'm impressed by the sheer lengths you're willing to go to twist that.
Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
Interesting. Not, we have some, ideological differences, let's say.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
I suppose we could say that. Why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket? Which I admit sounds like a bit of a stupid question now that I'm saying it out loud.
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
That is very much not what I expected you to say.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though...
That's a terrible metaphor.
You get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone.
Man. You two sure are interesting.
Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
You know, I'm down with that last part, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure about this whole thing you've got going here.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point.
No, the fuck he doesn't, Rhetoric. Shut the fuck up.
Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Hey, Kim,
Yes?
do you think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There's 2 of us and 2 of these jackets.
What are you implying?
Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you.
Are you more of a or a fuck the world kind of guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the 2 statements.
That works. I feel like a fuck the world kind of guy. Mostly because I don't want to be wearing a slur on my jacket, but you know.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
What a diplomatic way of putting that.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So true.
So are we done here? Or You don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Let's not do that. let's not try that one.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio
I
microphone.
sure do. Pull out the radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Alice, this is Firewalker. Reconnect to the 31st. No, I don't know why I'm saying that. Did you find out more about the owner of the armored boots?
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later.
Damn real.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
Why is this not grayed out, though?
Right.
10-4, come in. Fireworker, over.
Of course, I forgot. I am happy to report I found my badge jewels.
10-4, sir, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over.
Goodbye.
Roger that, 10.
Alright, well that was a disappointing result. But at least we got to talk to those two, I guess. Got a minute? Do you actually want to talk?
I, saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble?
Wait, so you did know something about who's smuggling drugs around here?
Nah, man. I was telling you the truth. I really didn't think it'd be her. She's okay. Sort of troubled, but still. A nice person.
So that's what that emotion was before. It was wishful thinking.
What else do you know about her?
Nothing. We just talked a bit. About life and stuff. She left me a key so I can park a lawyer if the jam broke. So, she in trouble or what?
There's gonna be an investigation.
It's that bad. Man, what should I do? What should I do to help her?
The last thing we need is more civilians involved.
Yeah, maybe I should just keep my head down and work on my rhymes while I can.
What's the plan with those rhymes, anyway?
Oh, you know. Tommy Leholm's gonna be a musician. Sprechgesang, but with beats. I've got a lot of free time on the road to hone my craft.
The correct grammar is Tommy Lahome.
Why Tommy Lehom?
Tommy Lom was taken. My real name's Jerry Lafitte. Tommy's way better.
It's more him.
Fair enough. I had another question, actually.
The man.
No, I didn't. I lied. Alright, good talk. So, we gotta go talk to these two boys, haven't we? You there, sir.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
I think you may be able to help me decipher some tattoos.
Don't think so.
Suddenly, this feels like a really, really bad idea.
They were on the body of the man who was hanged behind the cafeteria there.
Silence. He takes the photo. Grey eyes dart back and forth on the glossy surface. His face is unmoving. You see dead flesh in colorful rivers of polychrome, melted skin and hair.
Fucking loincloths. Really did him in.
Loincloths?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what the tattoo means?
What it means.
He points to one tiny star in the web of lines away from the man's heart, almost on his stomach.
In what must have been Seminine.
I can tell you what this one means. Only one. You want to hear what happened here?
Yes.
Our colonel is deep in the bush here. Deep in the fucking bush. In Benital, 41. Monsoon season. He's on a reconnaissance mission.
Benito is one of the inhabited islands of the Seminese archipelago near the Pale. Covered in jungle, it was anchor point for the Seminese nationalists in the proxy war held on the islanders' territory.
Is there two spaces here? How cringe.
He spent a month behind enemy lines, scouting kept villages. Nothing but fucking bugs and snakes for fun. Men are getting restless. There's talk of switching employers.
He licks his lips as if drunk suddenly.
With some strange emotion. This is about to get really graphic. Last moment to back off.
I guess there's your content warning. Don't interrupt him.
Our boy. He's only a captain then, but he knows how these men think. If they don't see action soon...
His voice gets strangely quiet, a long, long way from right to work. His gaze pierces the paper.
At dawn, he comes upon two kids, breeding in the bushes by the river. Or maybe they weren't breeding. Maybe they were just making eyes at each other. I like to think they were breeding.
Okay.
We shot the boy. He was useless, but the girl, she was nice. A little fat, you know, but not too old.
Okay, this is gonna get bad.
She was quite the entertainment for the week she lasted. Expired in the hands of Sarge Mason. The kind of guy who'd make Chief there shit his pants and cry like a bitch. God. Mason couldn't let go. Cut the tits off her cold body and fucking ate them. Said primitive spirits were watching over him now. Drowned in a creek a week later. Spirits my ass.
There's a word on the tip of your tongue. Colorless. Odorless. It's...
Evil.
You bet it was.
What is evil?
It's just nature. This guy, he used to say evil is when nature and spirit meet in the wrong place.
You were there?
No. I was in the domain. In Jamrock. Being a bouncer.
You're not really a scab leader, are you?
Fucking mask is getting sweaty. I want to take my mask off. But...
Can I have it back?
Go ahead. All right now. Free commerce! Keep the goods flowing!
On the photo in your hands, the dead man's skin is studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, littering his dead skin.
Are you a mercenary hired by Wild Pines?
Free flow of commerce!
Is there a tribunal being convened by any chance?
Fucking bug.
He breathes out slowly, his giant chest deflating, his mouth slightly open.
I'm going to interpret that as a yes. There's a tribunal, and it won't be long until it's ready.
How about you fuck off now, huh?
Okay, of course.
Okay.
The man's breathing.
Good talk. Alright, let's level up interfacing. Because I very much do not want to actually do what Evrard said. I did not look at this little bubble. It says Grih, G-R-I-H. The Great Revachol Industry Harbor. We had to talk to you again, correct?
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Kuno told me you were supposed to know about the armor.
The little boy had the good on his promise.
His promise.
To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me. Pardon the choice of words. Not mine.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cop's in his pocket, and he's the king of Jamrock. Serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes.
So, Kuno used us to what, scare you?
It's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
The probe into the armor, what did you learn?
I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part.
What sort of technical stuff?
I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just how it comes off.
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. The boots were still on the guy last I saw. Too hard to remove. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. More like a job for some militia.
Well, this isn't exactly startling information. I kind of assumed that that would be the general setup. 4 pieces of armor up for grabs then, but I already sent the boots away.
I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least.
Hold up, 4 pieces, helmet, cuirass, gauntlets, boots. What about the leggings?
Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I do.
Okay. I'm going to find 1 piece of it. 1 is enough.
Nice and balanced. Some junior officers can take care of the rest.
Smart choice. It's only that one spot you need armored too. The one the bullet hits.
True.
Good luck if you go for those boots though. You'd have an easier time wresting the spurs off a boyadero than getting them off him.
Thank you for your cooperation, sir.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
He is sincerely grateful he is not tracking down pieces of armor right now.
That weasel I visited. Turns out he has one hell of a colonial mug collection.
Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole.
See how we're all busy concentrating on the racist mugs? That's what the ruling class wants.
Yeah, it would be really bad if we got into an argument about him. Waste of a good noon. Or afternoon. Or night. Anyway, thanks for helping out, friend.
Good talking to you. Alright, let's go investigate the rest of the harbor now. While we are here, let's see if that +1 interfacing has made much of a difference. Put the interfacing gloves back on.
You take the legal documents out of...
Maybe let's wait a little bit longer. Bullets? You've got 1 bullet. Why are you tracking how many bullets I have? This doesn't seem like a very combat-y kind of game, judging by the fact we're like 10 hours in and have encountered no combat. Alright, can't go over there. My bad. So over yonder. Alright, what have we got over here? This is not how you get up there. Down here? No. How do you get up there? Figure it out for me. Okay. We have to go around then? Oh, up here. Who the fuck are you?
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blond man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles. I do not like the way he is looking at me.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Hailostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
How do you know Kim by name?
Nice to meet you.
Hold on. Hypertext?
Yes, hypertext. Young Carp and the collection of cultural hyperlinks.
Oh. My bad. Wait, what was that about the windows before?
Oh yes. So, Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. They still had vector monitors back then. That was 49 years ago.
Ugh.
So they didn't have windows on the south wall.
You and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
Remember to stay hydrated. He rests his hand on the boy's shoulder. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
I'm glad you said that, Drama, because I did think there was something weird about how he was talking.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in 08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again.
Well, get a load of this guy. He really enjoys his trivia. The Orbis programming language was named after its inventor, Victor Orbis, a cybernetician from Grad. They run Vox in the Occidental countries.
What's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
That's what you failed on, Encyclopedia? Look at the looming building.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
What's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
They don't? Okay.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
I definitely am not.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
A nerd, I see. I don't think I've ever heard of this Felt Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve, or should I say they were developing an ace up their sleeve. I'm mixing my metaphors here.
What was the ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer, which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. What happened?
Indeed. What?
Well, I asked you that, Trant.
The revolution!
Man, that sure is a small child right there. Look, got the little round hat and everything. God damn.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other buildings, then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Felt Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
Tragic.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing the gondolas rising to the sky.
Perhaps reminded of a childhood memory. It's clear he would prefer there were a big wheel, lighting up the coast.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
Wait, is he saying that we should just bypass the excesses of the revolution?
Now, rhetoric. Sometimes... Look, sometimes we can just let the politics go. It's okay. He's like 7. He can figure out what communism is later. Tape computers, right.
Tape computers?
He nods, wind tussling his suit jacket. What did the revolutionaries do with these advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
Oh, my bad. What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created Commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02.
A short-lived legislative foundation for a short-lived utopia.
It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bombessier dans le Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
You sound like you're so fucking fun.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
Good for him. How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant. Exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
Buckle up.
Okay.
10 years ago,
Oh, God.
I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center
Excuse
in
me?
Fort Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Juice joined the team, trying to...
The Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. Man, why don't we name everything like that? We could live in such a fun world, you know? Goddamn.
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center?
Exactly. Reaction speed.
He did it. He said Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world.
Isn't that insane?
What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juiced?
I like how we had to bring the whole committee of personality traits in to assess the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center situation there. Okay. The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center, Paul Ockerman, Keith and Guy Juiced. What are you talking about?
The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ockerman, chose to...
You're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wompty Dumpty Dum Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
Hold on. It's Wednesday evening, and something heinously exciting is underway. People have gathered beneath the billowing roof of an oddly shaped trophy building, sipping wine and exchanging opinions. 29-year-old Wunder twins, Guy and Keith Juiced, are the stars of the show, with their bomber jackets and white sneakers, head curators of this art exhibition. It's the Wumpty Dom D Dommiest event of the year, and all the cool kids have RSVP'd. Where are you if you're not there? Alright, this is extremely fucking important. We have to make space for that urgently.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Made of black film and folding tape structures.
Cool.
Very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The Feld playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Wait, the Feld playback experiment?
Yes, the official name of the prototype. Some sources report it as the Feld playback experience. But those are incorrect.
Nerd. Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
It takes a step back. The boardwalks creak mournfully in the wind.
2 seagulls circle in the sky. You look up and think, really? Or was there a 4th prototype that remains hidden in the mausoleums below Coal City?
I want to ask about something else.
But of course. What else?
You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Could I have some of that unimportant money then?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
He looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulder.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Great, thanks for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikhail here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
Pick your brain? If anything, this was rather one-sided. He did the talking. Whatever.
Now let's assess this billboard.
You see, a once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off over the years, but you can still make out Feld Electrical R&D, a slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Looks like tomorrow never came.
The lieutenant raises the collar of his bomber jacket. Grim! What do we got here, though? Oh, fuck. Let's go. Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. Okay. The fence blocks the path. No way on from here. Understood. We'll go around. Bars cover these long, dusty windows.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Try to see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase. There's rust and corrosion on the bars. They're foaming with it. And a small layer of white salt from the sea.
Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside?
No. I won't even try. You know...
He takes his glasses off.
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
I'm sorry to hear that.
This partner of his, Eyes, things didn't end well. It saddens him to say his name. Don't even ask. He wouldn't answer. Maybe some other small talk.
Can you still shoot, though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I passed my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
That's pretty good. Oh, we got a phone. Let's investigate. Maybe there's some change in the pockets. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Pick up the handset. Oh, leaning in like a cool guy.
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Fuck it.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre?
I might be? What's Pierre look like?
So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died.
What kind of pets did you have?
Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice, it's different.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
Is that the same number? 005-5117-912? No. Fuck it.
Calling. Still calling. Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity. No, what you are is a surprise. Get his wife on the phone.
Hey, Gerard, get your wife for me, will you?
Who is this?
It's Pierre. Now put her on. I don't like waiting.
Who the do you think you are talking to me like that?
Guillaume le Million.
Very funny, asshole. Why don't you grow up? Oh, and Disco is dead.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect.
Alright, that's enough of this foolishness. That was a productive use of time. A dead phone, a smashed receiver, like someone hung up too hard. Is there anything over here? No, that just connects back up there. Alright, what else have we got up here? Buzz, hum. The electricity flows through wires with audible power.
Someone has left an unidentifiable article of clothing on this railing. It smells really bad.
Touch it.
The cloth, if you can still call it that, makes a soft crunching sound as you thrust your finger into it.
Take a closer look.
It's streaked with dried seagull shit and tangled with pieces of seaweed. A dangling arm suggests that there might be a jacket beneath the crust of filth. It seems likely that it was left in the surf until someone laid it out on this fence to dry out. Unfortunately, that just seems to have stiffened it into a shapeless mass.
So this is Idiot Doom Spirals, right?
Please tell me you're not taking that with you.
I think this is the jacket the Idiot Doom Spiral guy wanted me to find.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled to have it returned.
Yeah.
An intricate web.
That is not what I wanted to do.
As you hold it in your hands, it makes an uncomfortable crunching sound.
Man, how did this jacket get so disgusting?
It's a sordid, filthy tale, not for the weak. Are you sure you can stomach it?
Think about it.
It occurs to you that you're not even holding the jacket itself, but rather the thick crust of jetsam and seagull shit that ensconces it.
Ensconces? Fuck.
It smells like a dead sea creature, tangled in grey strands of seaweed. It must have spent quite some time in the water before the tide deposited it ashore.
Okay, but what's the crust made of?
Somehow, it was carried or dragged to the boardwalk. If not by human hands, then perhaps the feral dogs that prowl the beaches at night. The faint impressions of many footprints are also present, though it's impossible to tell what kind or how many. Suffice to say, the jacket spent some time on the ground before someone draped it over the railing.
What happened when someone put it on the railing?
The crust is hard. This jacket spent at least a day baking in the sun. Who knows what happened to it then? Somewhere, high above the city, a pair of seagulls trace loops through the air. They are like the bombardiers of the aerostatic brigades, gliding above a target-rich environment. All of a sudden, the bomb bay doors open, and their white glittering payload rushes to the ground. Splat! An explosion of white on a man's shoe. A curse goes up, but the birds do not hear.
Why did I just spend all this time thinking about seagull shit?
It's too late. You've already thought about it, and now your hands are covered in muck.
Maybe if I wipe my hands on my pants?
What? No. Then it'll just be on your pants. This is a disaster. You'll never get the smell out.
A disaster. Alright. Great job, team. We did it. What we got here? Oh, fuck. Let's go. Makeshift roof. Vagrants have tried to make the boardwalk habitable. The tarp will keep out neither the rain, nor snow, nor wind. But we've got some spare change over here. Oh, 69. Let's fucking go. What's this? Understood. What's this? A coin-operated weighing machine. Hasn't been used for a decade. Oh, fuck. Compared to... +1 logic. Encyclopedia is some nerd shit, man. Vagrants have recently painted the tarp red. Water drips from it. What's over here, though? Oh? A big wine canister. It's open and empty. You good, man?
The smell. It's awful and familiar.
Is that guy dead? Hold on. That is awful.
It doesn't help. You can still smell it.
What is it?
Don't you recognize it? That hideous pungency. That faintly cloying sweetness. Only death smells like that. Something cold wakes in the pit of your stomach. Fear. It is death. It must be.
Heads up, Lieutenant. Something's not right here.
The lieutenant has already brought a handkerchief to his nose.
First, the trash can.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin.
Examine the tear.
2 empty bottles of Tallulah vodka and a can of black potent porter is all you find. No, there's more in there. Livis strawberry liquor, plus some Pilsner bottles too. Better not pick them up. They seem unhygienic.
A tragedy.
The lieutenant looks in the can, eyes watering from the smell.
He shakes his head with genuine sadness.
Examine the cigarette.
Whoever tossed it here was a heavy smoker. The brand name reads Red Astra. Red Astra is the black market version of Astra cigarettes, known for their high tar content.
The kebab.
You see traces of mayonnaise and ketchup on it, as well as a tomato wedge. The wrapper reads Shish Kebab Revachol.
Who puts mayonnaise on a kebab? That's a little weird.
It's no older than a day or two. No mold yet. It's hard to concentrate in the smell. The sea air brings some relief.
Alright, let's do it.
A man lies on the boardwalk, his limbs bent and neck turned at an unnatural angle. Right next to him is an empty bottle of spirits. In his cramped hand, a chewing gum wrapper. The smell is not as bad as a 2-week-old corpse, but it's definitely heading there.
Hold on.
The lieutenant squats next to the corpse and examines his face. 2 bulging eyes stare back at him, void of any signs of life.
Lividity is faintly pronounced. Whoever this is has been dead for 2 days. No longer. We need to investigate.
Oh. He stands up and shivers as a gust of wind blows through his bomber jacket.
Calm now. Carefully. Just another day. Just another dead body. Breathe.
Study the man's clothes.
He's wearing mud-caked boots, beige trousers, and an old brown leather jacket with a bright blue lining. There are traces of kebab sauce on his chest.
Does he look like a cryptozoologist? Search his pockets.
You find some sunflower seeds and a rain-soaked library card folded into 2. His jacket feels sodden and heavy under your hand.
Good. We should take a look at that library card after this is done.
Study the man himself.
The man has fallen through a crack in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench. Coagulated blood covers his black hair. One of his feet is still dangling through the hole. A bad fall. It might have been dark outside. This place is a minefield in the dark.
Examine his face.
His expression is dull, like the sea behind him. Drops of water shining on his mustache. His eyes, empty and wide, look frightening in their frozen gaze. Height, 170 to 175 centimeters. Curly hair, stout build. Age, approximately 50 to 60 years.
Uh-oh.
He was confused when he died. Confused and alone, most likely. Overcome with the awful surprise of it all. He was just about to head home. The first step back home proved to be his last. That's what the chewing gum seems to point to as well.
Study the surroundings.
There's some dried blood on the metal bench, right where the corpse's head rests. The floorboards are rotten and slippery wet around the hole. An empty bottle lies nearby. A chewing gum wrapper is clutched in his fist. Be very, very careful where you step here.
Examine the man's head.
A dried chunk of blood covers the hair at the back of his head. An open wound. It's sticky and cold to your touch. This is what killed him. This is where he came out of himself, drop by drop, when he was unconscious. It took 3, maybe 4 minutes.
I don't see any other major wounds, do you?
No, just this one on the back of his head.
Seems like the head wound was fatal. It's exactly the shape of the bench.
Step on the floorboards.
They screech under your feet ominously. It's hard to say whether the dead man's weight was the cause of the boardwalk to break. It definitely looks fragile. You see waves churning below. Something cracks beneath your feet. He could have easily disappeared into the sea through that hole, and you would have never found him.
Examine the bottle.
A .75-liter Tallulah vodka with its cap missing. There's hardly anything left inside.
Tear all around us.
He looks at 2 other bottles near the coin-operated viewer, then at your yellow plastic bag.
I'd prefer if you didn't collect them this time. It's not proper.
That is true.
True. It feels disrespectful.
Examine the chewing gum wrapper.
Grabowski spearmint chewing gum. Green leaves on the cover. The man's mouth is half agape from the terror of the fall.
Look in.
The blackness of death. Stench. You think you see white chewing gum too. Confirmed. Nearly the whole pack is there. Solidified on his lower rear teeth.
He ate the whole pack, right? It's to cover the smell of alcohol before going home. The worst thing is, I've seen it before. Almost the same scenario. Even the chewing gum. It's always the same.
Step back.
The entire boardwalk creaks in the wind as you take a step back.
Who is this man?
Looks like one of the locals. He'd have to know this spot to come here. You don't just walk over here.
He looks south the way you came.
But that's just a lazy assumption. What do you think?
This is an omen, a sign from above that you need to stop drinking.
He looks like me. I could have ended up just like him, dead on some empty boardwalk with a bottle next to my corpse.
Well, at least you're not married.
The lieutenant points to the ring on the land's left hand, the flesh around it swollen and grey. If he's a local... You remember that chick who we were like, is your husband missing? What if this is him? Because it's either that or the cryptozoologist, right? But the cryptozoologist isn't a local.
Or, what if you are?
But let's try to not run ahead. For now, all we know is that he's an unidentified middle-aged man found dead on the Martinez boardwalk.
What do you think happened here?
Death by misadventure. He slipped and fell through the boardwalk. A truly unfortunate accident. If it wouldn't have been for that bench, he'd be alive.
Could it be related to the lynching?
No, I don't see anything that points in that direction. For now, let's treat this case as a simple, albeit sad, accident, unrelated to the murder case.
Agreed. If this somehow converges later, why not? But keep it simple for now.
Do you think he was drunk?
Oh, yes.
What about alcohol poisoning and liver failure?
Some symptoms of acute alcohol poisoning could have definitely played a role here. Severe confusion, respiratory depression, unpredictable behavior. But I think that death arrived through head trauma, not liver failure.
What about the kebab?
What about it? The deceased ate some kebab. It's probably from a nearby place, maybe in the box.
Sometimes a kebab is just a kebab.
Right.
It does seem to be a pretty straightforward misadventure. Although there's still a question of identifying the body.
What should we do with him?
From where I stand, I can see 2 options. We either take the case and follow the leads to identify the body on our own, or we report back to the station and leave this for our colleagues to handle.
What about field autopsy?
A field autopsy isn't necessary if the cause of death doesn't appear to be criminal, and this looks like a simple accident to me. I'd say we should just write down head trauma in the autopsy report and leave it at that. It would save us at least 2 hours of unnecessary work.
You're right, I don't see anything criminal here.
Good call. The guys at processing can take care of the rest.
We found him, we should finish this.
Alright, we should first examine the library card you found. Then we can call the station from Mike and Emma. Let them know we are taking the case.
Alright.
The library card is folded into 2 and still slightly wet to the touch. The front side reads, Central Jamrock Public Library Card, issued to Billy Mejean, expires July 53.
I don't recognize that name. That's not the cryptozoologist, is it? Where's the cryptozoologist? Morel. Yeah. Dude, was that chick's husband actually missing and, like, dying as we were talking to her?
Billy is a unisex name. Could be the deceased, or his family member.
Look inside.
Whoever owns this card is an avid reader. You find a list of books written in blue pencil. Radio thriller. Stand a little less between me and the sun. The last one in the list is The Glinton Curve by M. Theobald. A library stamp indicates that the book has been returned. Most of these titles seem to be in the sci-fi genre. Some thrillers too.
Look at the backside.
If lost, please return the card to the library. Dial 005 02 55211 or visit us at Moreau Street, 78, Jamrock. Business hours, 900 to 1800.
I guess we can call them.
Good. We should give them a call from my kinema. See if we can learn anything about Billy Méjean.
Put it away. All right. Well, wasn't expecting to find another death, but, you know, this coin-operated viewer has been out of order for years. Careful there. These floorboards look rotten and weak. Oh. Moonshine, probably. Smells like tasty fermentation. Okay. Well, it's been an exciting trip to the boardwalk. I didn't see that there. Let's go. 20 cents. What a time to be alive. Alright. Can I just call the library from here?
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable.
I guess not. Fair enough. Let's go on back then. You are here. Have we been? Oh, wait. You can fast travel? Oh, fuck. I've been walking like a fucking schlup for nothing. Nothing else here, right? Oh, wait. We didn't go over here. Oh, you must be the cryptozoologist. You look cryptozoology-y.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Can't help but notice that your name has the crypto-fascist in it. And you've got a very interesting thing going on behind your head. You seem quite interesting, Gary.
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Morel, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
That's sarcasm. He takes no pleasure from your appearance.
You don't seem too happy to see the RCM.
Oh, no. It's all right. I'm just busy. What's this about?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn water lock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the 881.
Hold on. We gotta make space for the Dumpty-Dumpty-Doo, or whatever the fuck it was. Forget contact Mike, because that doesn't actually do anything. Really hard to read against this background. Where is it? Ah! Of course, the Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center. Internalize. This is very important. Wasteland of Reality sure has taken some time. Oh my god, still have 14 hours to go. Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back.
You broke the water lock with a motor carriage? There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
No, it was all me. I caused your delay and I'm sorry, but you can return now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we go in.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find. which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
So you're saying we could be surrounded by phasmids right now?
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sort of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex.
That seems likely.
But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolve, without studying a live specimen.
Yes, it makes perfect sense. You're beginning to suspect there's something paranatural about this phasmid.
This seems likely, yes.
A ghost insect, he said? These people are looking for a ghost.
Ghost insect. So you're ghost hunters.
No, that is precisely what we're not. We are zoological specialists, looking for an extant species of phasmid.
How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm.
Whew.
So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? Aren't there more sensational animals out there?
typical rookie assumption.
My bad.
Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for.
I'm sorry, I'm an amateur when it comes to cryptozoology. That's not true. I fucking love cryptozoology. It's all fucking bullshit, but it's so fucking entertaining.
Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of of any cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head. What have you discovered about it so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
That's true.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says brusquely enough that that even he seems taken aback by it.
It's clear that his obsession with the phasmid is driven by something more than the pure pursuit of scientific advancement.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Elena said there have been sightings of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
What the fuck does that mean? Parthenogenesis?
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
This arouses no special feelings in me. The male is a deficient life form. The world would be better off if women didn't need men to reproduce.
Nature does not concern herself with ethical propositions. As a scientist, my interest is strictly dispassionate.
Good for you, man. I fucking love passion. Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly. so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Lena designed the traps.
Yes.
Oh, he says with some pride. How do the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out.
Isn't it a little small? You said the other one was like the size of a dude's forearm?
At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Why aren't you putting a plant in there then?
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
Horrifying.
A meat-eating stick insect? Does it pretend to be the reeds as part of its ambush behavior? This seems unlikely.
A carnivorous stick insect? Seems unlikely.
Thank you for your opinion. We have also included plant material in the traps to satiate your skepticism.
Okay, sorry. What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
I suppose that makes sense.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
Let me ask you about something else.
Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south where Lena would be. Lena.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
Won't let Lena down? Sounds like the cryptozoologist's wife shares a special connection to the phasmid somehow.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
Really? She's sighted the phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
She doesn't believe in any of this at all, does she?
Needless to say, you must ask her about the mysterious phasmid.
It seems strange you wouldn't mention this during our conversation if it was a genuine story.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. Maybe you should go back to the whirling, warm up, come back to check the traps later?
No. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
What if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
He looks at you with obvious surprise. I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked.
Caught the bug, I see. It's easier to get caught up in the search than you'd imagine.
Where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church.
There's a radio tower?
The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid then sorry.
What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
What if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Fantastic news.
It's made of musk and research chemicals. The pheromone should attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Will last you about a week.
Lay it on me. Thick. He douses you with the odd-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and gives you a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
Thank you, Shivers.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right. Which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Whatever he thinks about this detour, it's clear that these men are exhausted and in need of assistance.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Can't wait to talk to Gary later.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
Never mind.
We'll be gone once you get to
Let's talk to Gary now.
If it's more cryptid-related business you want to discuss, you'll have time for that later too. But what if the information is vital on the hunt?
So true. How did you become a cryptozoologist?
I've just always liked animals and puzzles. Searching for cryptids is a bit of both.
That is an extraordinarily reasonable response. I didn't expect that. So you're living your childhood dream out here.
It's not child's play. Just because I have to traipse through the mud every so often.
I didn't mean it like that, but, you know, whatever. This is very insulting. Have you ever discovered a cryptid?
No. Very few cryptids are ever discovered, and not for a lack of trying. To stay hidden is a cryptid's primary quality. It's even in the name, cryptid.
So how many cryptids have been found?
Of the list of cryptids kept by the Cryptozoological Society of Chemnee, which is 4,082 items long, about 2,000 have been confirmed as hoaxes.
Now, that's not quite what I asked.
2 are categorized as confirmed discoveries. The rest are in differing stages of discovery, refutation, and data collection.
Only 2 have been proven to be real?
Yes. The Chateau Quan forest pygmy, who turned out to be an extinct species of primate, and a cave salamander from Grad, who is, honestly, quite unremarkable. It's in a zoo somewhere. We cryptozoologists are brutally honest with ourselves. More so even than the public. With cryptids, most cryptids are hoaxes or they are never found. That does not mean we should stop searching.
The Elysium plasmid will be the 3rd.
Indeed.
He does not...
If our expedition is successful, every paper in the world will report on it. From Revachol to Dushantu. It will be a zoological miracle.
He does not smile, just looks you in the eye. It's a forceful gaze.
The hair on your arms stand up. Electricity. Sounds like reeds hissing. He has clearly done his math on this. There is no surprising him or swaying his opinion.
Thanks for explaining that.
Yes?
Let's talk about specific cryptids.
All right. What cryptids precisely? I usually discuss these things with specialists, so I don't know what.
We would have to discuss. He wants to say, but decides against it. Since you've offered to help, you need to ask him about specific cryptids. Cryptids you've heard about from Lena or his friend Gary. He won't just talk.
Fair enough.
By all means.
I'll get going. Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer.
I know, thank you.
Yellow Man. I mean, Officer?
Wow. I've never seen someone be so directly racist. Holy shit. Holy shit. Goddamn. Just announcing broadly in public, I am a racist like that. Incredible.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. Interesting. This is something to ask him about after a little probing first.
What is there to ask about?
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Which are you?
Degenerates. This man respects authority too much. To see the truth inscribed upon thine own visage. Pretend thou art a paragon of virtue.
I am neither of those things, I can assure you. I'm a by-the-books, clean as a whistle officer of the law. I'm not even tempted to touch intoxicants.
I've been tempted on occasion, but someone has to stay strong for Revacol.
Revacol, eh? His gaze shifts to the pile of soggy logs at his feet.
He pronounces Revacol with a hard K, unlike other people.
You said Revacol?
I like to pronounce it the hard way, the old way, the Vespertine way.
That's,
The stupid way?
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
He winks at you, trying to relay some hidden message, inviting you to mispronounce it too, perhaps. It's odd. It's a secret rite. A very fringe nationalist handshake, probably.
Definitely seems like it, yes. Do you know anything about the man behind the whirling in rags?
Oh, so that's what the RCM in Martinez is about. Great. Great to hear someone's finally taking care of that.
So you do know something about it?
No. Nothing. He was some kind of mercenary. But everyone here knows that. I'm just glad to hear you're looking into it. That's all.
Do they?
He didn't kill him or anything, but there's something going on here.
Is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
You said yellow man. That's not something many people go around saying.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone.
God, this guy really does just give off big Ben Shapiro vibes. Oh, God. Still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay. I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer. You're not going to find me, are you?
I am. For 100 Rial.
Okay, I deserve that. And I won't do it again. You have my word. I don't know what got into me. Stuffing my garbage in another man's property, I've been having trouble at work lately. The Koikos are price dumping us out of competition.
Hold on. Oh wait, we can't do that in dialogue, right?
What did you do, Gary?
Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
How'd you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
So I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into the trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do?
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
What's that strange sound?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay.
You wouldn't happen to know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
God, you're such a wormy little weasel.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
Let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over.
Does this mean you were in his apartment, admiring his colonial mug collection? Perhaps it would be interesting to tell him.
So, Gary, you live nearby, in an apartment in Martinez?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
Are you a big fan of the man from Hamdall?
How?
The color drains from his face. Mr. Everard Clare thought it necessary to unlock your apartment.
Mr. Clare unlocked my apartment?
No, I did, per his request.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him.
What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
The man looks around, whispering to make sure no one hears you talk. Oh, I love watching him squirm. Our discussion on this topic is over, Gary.
Of course. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door opening operation.
Gotta say, feel a lot better about it now. Are you a cryptozoologist too?
No. I help Morel with research sometimes, and I've learned some things along the way.
But I don't usually go in for picnics like this on my own.
Remember to stay hydrated.
After all this time with Morel, he must have an opinion on cryptids. This could lead to a good one.
I'm into cryptids. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, yes. The burning rhino.
Oh, what?
Morel doubts he's real, but I don't much care. Because I won't be the one looking for him out in Safra Serai.
What's a burning rhino?
A rhinoceros that looks ordinary during the day, but burns brightly by night. Well, at least the males do.
Why only the males?
The flames are not just for decoration. They are an integral part of the beast's mating behavior.
Oh, of course. My bad. How so?
During the burning rhino's mating season, herds of male rhinos all aflame, encircle herds of female rhinos, forming a fiery ring as they begin to copulate loudly.
Gotta say, does seem like this would be a very easy cryptid to find if it was real.
Local peasants call it the Passion Ring. They fear the rhinos, as perhaps they should. Anyway.
It's wise to fear a rhino in general, but I certainly would fear a flaming rhino.
The lieutenant sighs, without looking up from his notes.
Oh, come on, Kim. Cheer up.
It's clear the burning rhino is dear to him on many levels. Some even spiritual.
How do they burn?
They have special ducts just above their shoulder blades that secrete a combustible fluid. When the rhino is just beginning to light itself, it looks as though it has wings of fire.
Fascinating.
But how is this combustible fluid lit?
How does the lighting of this fluid actually work?
The rhino starts running very fast to build heat, then stops, raises its head, and sparks fly from its neck, setting its back ablaze.
I want to be just like that rhino, running through the night with guns blazing.
We don't really do that around here.
Kim, come on.
Perhaps we should have more such decisive action in Revacol. You know, this city used to be a flaming rhino once. A long time ago.
You were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sail. I meant no offense, truly.
That's why I greeted you with a slur. It was a joke. Haven't you heard of dark humor?
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one?
Oh my god. Yes.
Well, this is that racist.
Yes, our lucky racist.
Hey, man, all I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
The lieutenant is a native of Revachol.
Oh, yes. Of course he is. I was just speaking about his connections. Let's change the subject, okay?
Uh-huh.
Sounds like some conspiracy topic. You might be able to discuss it with him when the lieutenant isn't here. If you can remember it. Return without the lieutenant. For this, your balance organ thinks it's a waste of time.
Oh my god. Even Savor Fair is like, come on, dude. Why are you entertaining this racist? Why is he shifting around like that? Analyze Gary's composure.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
His massive musculature? No. Something worn underneath it?
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
Gary, you little bitch. You're wearing the combat armor that you took off of the dead body right now. I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once. I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso. It makes you feel powerful, doesn't it? You're such a Weasley little fascist. That you just wanted to wear it, didn't you?
We're
You
not
freak.
detecting falsehood, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
You little fucking freak.
This shame is surprisingly sincere.
Gary, what's going on?
He's a little freak.
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
Give me that armor now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat, but so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
Why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling. So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here.
Oh my god. You can't go 2 seconds without being a wormy little racist, can you?
Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
You took... How could you not have known, you stupid fucking moron? You took something... You took a piece of armor off a dead body and also removed the clothing from this. You couldn't have tampered with the crime scene more. What the fuck is wrong with you, you little freak?
We're detecting sincere contrition here, sire. He's not trying to flatter anyone.
Obviously not, but he's a fucking moron.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
God.
They were thoroughly conservative men, he realizes suddenly.
Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you, but...
It's okay, Gary. All fascists are weak like that.
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I wish he wasn't more.
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. Do you know who killed him? The hangman?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows.
Are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center. You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Ooh. Oh, fuck. Encyclopedia gives 2 real? I am a pretentious wanker, and that's fair. That's entirely true, both in-game and in reality. But, boy, Encyclopedia triggers a lot. I've reassessed my glasses choice, actually, I think. Actually... Let's level up interfacing again. I really don't want to have to do Everart's job for him, you know? Alright, that was productive. Can I wear the armor? Or at least investigate it? Oh, fuck. Pain threshold, volition, and -1 empathy. Is this a jacket? No, it's a shirt. Okay. +1 drama? I mean, this seems to be generally better. Oh my god. Let's go. We are looking so fucking fly. Alright.
The white ceramic cuirass hugs your torso, shielding your vitals without adding much bulk to your form. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far
The dice,
away,
I forgot.
as the plates reorient to your motions.
I will be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you.
This is the long sought after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it, I must study it.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it, observe its properties, see if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
That could actually happen, couldn't it? That's not unimaginable that we end up going to blows with the other mercenaries. If I had known... Why has the camera done this? Please return my camera. Hello? Oh. If I had known I would get that, I wouldn't have spent that skill point so brazenly. These soggy little logs smell of ignition fluid, but still they won't light up. These heavy military blockades were riddled with bullet holes. Crumbling. Let's go. Tiny cages, carefully constructed. Alright, let's get to work.